Yeah. Hey, give Scarlett a minute. She email or anything? She's coming?
Good evening, everyone. We're about to start the Planning and Zoning Advisory Board meeting. Today is April 18th at 6:30. The chairman will call your item, which is the letter, the name and the address. You will step up to the podium and speak into the mic. If you have any follow-up questions, you can pull me to the side. Any building permits that require structural review, it will go to structural next. If it needs to go straight to our building official, she does come in every Friday. Okay?
Your discussion. Please. I did a very good job of writing down. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. It's 6:30. Good evening. This is the Village of Biscayne Park Zoning Board meeting for Monday, April 18th, 2022. It's now 6:30. Just said that. The roll call, Edward Leyva.
Present.
Okay. Annie Espinoza. David Grun here. Gage Hartung, I'm here, as well as SB from the building department. And so let's go ahead and we'll take the residents that are here since there's not a lot and it won't get too confusing. So first will be Old Business B, PRBP LLC 11636 Northeast 7th Avenue. This is for new construction, final review. And for demolition also, let's take a look here. This little hearing. This is 30. Scarlett Hammond is from the meeting.
Motion to approve. That have the.
right, so continuing with the residents that are here, Hernandez, 1020 Northeast 118th Street, re-roof tile. You just show it, everybody. All right, so this is a tile roof, flat tile roof. They're doing the entire house. It's flat, looks like it's kind of a umber color. Pretty straightforward. Any questions on the board? No.
Motion to approve?
David? Manny? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good, thank you. All right, next will be NAO Homes LLC, 11002 Northeast 10th Avenue for window. All right, so let's see your schedule. Doing all the windows. Is it the entire structure? The duplex, it looks like, right? Yeah. Front ones are horizontal rollers, horizontal roller, horizontal roller, horizontal roller. You're doing them, what color? White. And there's single hungs on the bathrooms, it looks like on the side. Okay. So white windows, horizontal rollers, you're doing all the windows.
Not from our code, like this, we don't have a chapter, so it's something.
Yeah,
Can I ask people to keep their voices down, please? All right, any questions on the board?
I didn't hear I didn't know an agenda item was called, Gage.
Sorry, they're all horizontal rollers.
What item? I didn't hear an agenda item even called.
Oh, sorry. NAO Homes LLC, 11002 Northeast 10th Avenue windows.
That one single hung on the side.
They're all horizontal rollers with single hungs on the sides. White frame.
Motion to approve?
David,
Second.
Ed, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carries.
What's that?
You're good, sir. Thanks for your time. She'll call you when the permit's ready, yeah. Thank you. Okay, next will be, we're gonna go to discussion. Will be discussion B, Archer, 1025 Northeast 120th Street for a pool. Is there anything here? You can actually go up there unless there's something you want to show me particularly. Okay. This is a where's this house at? So, okay, so it faces 120th Street. Oh, that carport is really close to the front property line. So don't touch it unless you want it. It has to be brought into compliance. Okay, so you got a 15 to the back property line, 15 to the side property line, and then 29 to the other, so it's almost centered in the back. What's your question on the equipment? 5 and 5 back in that back corner? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't think on the so. Any questions, board members?
So the proposed area is that highlighted square on the bottom left of the page?
Yeah, it's up in
Okay.
the corner there, yeah.
Okay, just because there's a note on the drawing that has it at the other corner at the back.
Oh,
Maybe that's just a,
yeah, actually, if you notice, your CAD person put the pool equipment here, and your drawing is here. Yeah, 5 foot for pool equipment is fine. And then 5 and 5 is there too. So you could either do either one. Alright. Any other questions on the board?
I guess since he's out of it, not in it.
We're all good?
Yeah, no questions. I mean, no
This was,
other comments,
Archer.
because normally we would allow
Had a
3 feet,
question on the pool equipment.
but I guess he's pulling it 5 because of that easement.
So you're all good. Hey, Linda.
The only other thing to just be, I'm sure Essex knows already, but we've got a 50% impervious lot coverage. So all that stone paver on Sunset would count as impervious area. So
Yeah, you have a 50% lot coverage. You look like you're well under 50 or well close to 50. But you'll have to provide a calculation on that. Thank you.
I've seen some like 20-foot swales.
Okay, Linda, let me just finish this and we'll come back to you because you're on the agenda. All right, next will be discussion, C Cohen, 11638 Northeast 7th Avenue. This is for expansion proposal. How you doing, sir?
Yep.
So do you want to describe it really quick? Looks like you're putting a pool, the thing over the pool we just approved.
The what?
The thing over the pool area.
No, the pool is already approved and it was,
I'm just saying, okay, describe what you're looking to do.
so I just want to add a second story to the house.
Okay,
Because we only have a 2-bedroom house and my wife is expecting, we need more room. So I wanted to, before I go ahead and get architecture plans and all that, I wanted to run it by you guys first and see if it's feasible. This is just a mock-up of what we would want to do. It's not really, I mean, it was done in a couple of hours on Photoshop just to give you an idea of what it would look like.
But right now you're just keeping I mean, what you're asking to do is
Keep the
use the
original
same footprint that you have and add a
Yeah.
second story to it.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
add a
except for the
second,
footprint you have now doesn't meet the setback requirement.
the foot, yeah,
The
the,
current plan doesn't meet
oh, I don't
current setback
I don't
requirements.
even know. All I know is that if I tear down the house, I might not be able to rebuild on the size of my lot. So I spoke to a few people and they said the only thing you would be able to do is maybe put a second story. So before I went ahead and paid for architectural plans and all that, I said I'm going to come and see you guys and discuss it first.
Yeah.
See if it's even feasible.
so the thing is that what you would want to build on you could have a 2-story house, but the thing is that the second story would have to meet the setbacks. The current, the setbacks that you're in now.
So you have to step back the second
Oh,
floor
that's
from
not,
the,
that's not a problem.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm pretty much close to the setback right now. We're at like 33.
on the front, well, I guess you have two fronts. On 7th Avenue, yeah, you're
Yeah, I'm at
at
30.
25 instead of 30. But on 117th, you're at 21 instead of 30. At the part that little bit that projects out. The rest is at 25. So you basically be pulling back 5 feet and 5 feet on the two
What-
sides.
Okay,
Might be manageable. I don't,
yeah, I can
figure
make,
out the
I
layout
can
with
make
the
a little
architect, but-
balcony or on both sides or whatever, like,
Is this balcony that you're showing here, is it facing 117?
that's on the side of, no, that's on the side of the other property, 11636.
Okay, oh, I see, 7th Avenue, 117. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, that could easily be reworked. Like I said, this was drawn up in a couple of hours on Photoshop by my wife and I, so.
Um,
That pops out part from like where you have a staircase goes up, that would. Only need to put the staircase to like the other side.
Yeah, probably put the balcony in front or on the side so that it doesn't, it meets the setback requirements.
But I mean, the stair is where he needed to be because the other two sides have to step back, right? Because this has to step back and that has to step back. This whole side actually has to step back.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, that one. Sorry, I was looking at the circular stair at the bottom. Sorry.
So so you're saying the steps would have to go where like we see the hallway? That hallway would be,
Almost that hallway would be gone.
yeah, that hallway would be actually balcony.
Yeah, and you'd have to move that hallway internally or figure out a different.
Yeah, no, I would do another layout and make that a balcony or whatever.
Is there a reason that you put the covered balcony on the back side of it? Or just?
On the, yeah, because there's the pools right there, so I figured people would be able to look out their, I go out the guest bedrooms to look out and then go straight down the stairs to the pool.
Yeah.
And then we would turn the first floor into like living room and kitchen area and put the bedrooms upstairs.
Um, So, so you're allowed to do a second story. You have to meet the current setbacks. Your lot coverage is not going to change because you're going to go right on top of the existing lot coverage, but you still have to stay within
That's
50%,
great, that's
which
great
includes
news.
the pool, is your house a wood frame house,
No, it's a concrete block.
concrete?
yeah.
I was gonna say, can it support this? I mean, have you even looked at?
Well, then, no, I met with some engineers. They'd have to reinforce the initial structure and put some beams and do some, I'm not really an engineer, but I know
Yeah.
that they'd have to, they said it probably would because the house is super solid, but they wouldn't risk it. They would reinforce it with, I think, a metal structure, or I don't know how they would do it, but
You'd have to put the foundation, I'm sure, is not a foundation for a second two-story house, or a block house, right? Or a 19.
I mean,
house is like 19.
yeah, it's unlikely. I mean, hard to say, but it's unlikely,
But I mean, that's you
Yeah,
to figure that out.
that
but,
will let the architects, and I just wanted to see, first of all, if
Yeah, just on the two street sides, you got to pull it back to be 30 and 30.
So the other thing too is this considered improvements of 50%? And if that's the case, then you probably will need to take down the garage. The garage is non-compliant and any improvements, when you improve the lot 50% or more, you have to bring it into compliance.
Like if you have to.
But
Yeah, and are you going on a cost basis or a square footage? Because usually goes by cost basis for single family, no?
Yeah, what he's saying though is that it's based off of like cost.
Yeah, I mean, it also may be two different things. So from a FEMA point of view, if you make an improvement that is 50% or more of the value of the existing structures, let's say I have no idea, anything about your house, let's say it's appraised for $1 million and you want to do an improvement that is $750,000 in value, they're going to say that's more than 50% of the existing. And then you're going to have to bring it up to existing, which you may already be above floodplain. I don't know. Then gauge, though, it might be a different issue from a zoning conformance, which is you meet a 50% threshold, then you have to bring the entire property into compliance. But gauge, it would be the storage structure, what about the existing house? I mean, I guess we
Yeah,
don't
'cause
touch,
you're gonna have to take the roof off. I mean, it's, I mean, the.
I'm saying the setbacks on the
structure's
existing
gonna have to
house.
Be rehab too.
But would you have to meet current setbacks on the existing house?
That's, yeah, that's where you're opening a can of
So,
worms on that too.
From a zoning point of view, though, is it the, on a cost basis 50%, or is it a square footage basis?
I believe it's a cost. That's the standard.
So you'd have to. Yeah, so you know, there'd be some documents you'd have to provide, an existing appraised value, your construction budget, you know, stay under 50% of the value of the existing house. Yeah, so there are some things you have to watch out for. And is it, also have to clarify whether it's 50% of the value of the structure or
Yeah, because.
not the property, it's not your appraisal of your entire property, it's the physical building.
Yeah, because I mean, the way, and also like, I guess on the other side, the flip side is like, we've had it where like 100 feet of fence, 60 feet of it blows down. So more than 50% of the fence is destroyed. You got to bring it all up to code.
Yeah.
So that's a physical 50%. Same thing with like a driveway. The driveway cracks up and everything and starts deteriorating, then you have to bring it up. We can clarify that.
Yeah, I would maybe with your architect, whoever you use, bring that up to them, make sure they do the homework and.
Yes.
What the architect needs to research is it 50% square footage or 50% of, then is that cost the entire property or is it just the physical structure?
Yeah.
And once
That
they
latter
figure
one,
that
I'm
part
not-
out,
I don't
then they
remember.
can Make their quote come out.
Is that an FBC thing or a Muni code?
Hey,
The,
It's a building official question. We'll have to run it up to the building official. So
yeah, some of it's
if you're
FEMA.
opening a can of worms that then if you start messing with the existing house, then it needs to come back to setbacks. I mean, you have, if you want to consider it, I mean, you have 25 feet to your back property line, you have a 10-foot setback, so you have 15 feet of buildable space back there, but then you're starting to run up against your 50% rule,
Lot
you have,
coverage and
where
whatnot.
the pool's already kind of in the place for that. Maybe putting the addition on the back so it's away from the main structure and it only impacts portion of the main structure in the rear, but that's your architect to work on that. Okay. Thank you.
What I would suggest is engage an architect, have them do the research and go and present a case that is what the case you want it to be. Don't just go open question, because then, you get maybe not the answer you don't want, right? Come in there prepared that this is what the rule is, this is what I'm doing. Please tell me you have no issue with that. Thank you. That's what I'd recommend. Yeah. Not knowing if you can do the project. Yeah. I'm sure there are respectable architects that you can engage on a smaller preliminary evaluation, or just doing that zoning analysis, not full construction documents.
Thank you. All right. So you're not on the agenda, so unfortunately you have to go last, if you don't mind. We have Dylan, 712 Northeast 115th Street, pergola repair. Is this an existing pergola? Is this the one on the front of your house? Yep, how's it going? it's an existing pergola that's on the front. It's 53 feet back from the street, 17 from the side setback, so there's no setback issues. And it's just an open wood pergola. Actually, there's one there that's existing. You're just taking it down and replacing, or it's actually just a repair.
Yeah, I think just making repairs to what's there, correct?
Not an architect. All right, any questions on that board?
No.
Second. Then Scarlett, then David, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Yeah, it will go to our structural engineer and then to building official. It will go to our structural engineer and then to our building official.
We're all set. Thanks, Linda. Okay, so we had two other people come in. Are you on the agenda? You were here first. What's your name? Pintano, okay. Okay, so Pintano, Old Business D, Pintano, 11728 Northeast Sixth Avenue for a pool. You're kind of doing the equipment on the, in the middle of the yard there. Yeah. So you're doing the pool on the side, 10-foot setback, which is great, 30 front, the front, perfect. The pool is great. So you want to do the equipment right here in the middle.
Yes, that's what I, because they originally. Want to have an entrance. And
We don't
had-
let you up here.
Correct, we had, then they suggested here, you said, no, no. You have so much space, why don't you take any other place?
Any other place.
So then I'm thinking, here I have friends, they have landscape. Here, tucked away.
The only thing would be is that it can't be closer than 3 feet. Side for like pool equipment, AC units, things like that. That's, you're allowed to be in the side setbacks, but they just can't be closer than 3. It looks like you have about 3 feet there anyway. So that would be the only caveat. Any comments on the board? Nope.
No, I think it's client now.
So,
It would, before you approve it now, then it goes to the other trades. I think. So, okay. Cool, yeah. The structural, plumbing, all them. So it takes a little more time for the rest
do I
of the
have
people.
to come, or there's no more?
Yeah, so you don't have to do anything further unless they have a question for you, then they'll call you.
Question, guys, regarding.
Yeah, so you can't go further than here. Actually, you're a corner lot, actually.
Exactly.
You have a couple options, actually. Looks like your house is actually less than 30 feet to the front. If this is 30, this is less than 30. So you're actually allowed to come out in front of this a little bit, but you can't come closer than 15 feet. So like you could actually come out and go across, because you're on a corner lot. So you have a little bit of leeway. So you're allowed to,
We
you're,
have a fence around.
that if you have one there, then it's illegal, actually. Yeah.
No, I don't have.
It's non-conforming, existing non-conforming. But it would have, if you wanted to put a fence for this, which you need to do for code, you're gonna have to bring this into compliance. So the fence would have to be back here and then across here. But this fence here.
No, I
um,
don't have there's nothing.
There's something, there's like,
What
no,
you see now is just,
it's the tree,
like,
yeah, the hedge, yeah.
Yeah, I think you mentioned this in the previous time you were here that you don't have a fence. And I mentioned to you then you're going to need to have a fence for a pool. So just bear in mind.
So you have a couple options. Like I said, you can pump out here and go across, but you can't come closer than 15 feet to the property line. And then you're allowed to go across from here to here, there to there. But then, hold on, you're in a corner lot, so you have a lot. But you also, since the front of your house faces 6th Avenue, you can actually come out from the corner of the property, which would be that house, that lot, that point there. Come out and enclose this part of your yard. But the code says you can't be more than 3 feet to the property line if that's 4 feet high. There's an entire code written for side yards. So I would suggest that maybe come back, think about what you want, come back and talk to us about it. Instead of me trying to tell you all the different variables about it, is maybe think about what you want and then let's talk about it. Come for discussion. Because you have a corner lot, you are allowed to actually put fencing over on this side. But it can't be, there's limitations on how close you can be to the property line. Well, you wouldn't be able to finalize this permit until you got a fence permit. I mean, you could start the pool, but you wouldn't be able to finish the pool. Until you got a fence permit. By code, by Florida code, you have to have it. No, the pool has to be completely encircled so that children cannot get in and fall in your pool. That means the entire pool area has to be fenced in. Whether you do it over here, in here, but you can't just have it on one side. It has to be. Yes, you like I said, you won't be able to finish your pool until the fence. Yeah, so do I have a motion on this? Any questions? Any comments on the board? Carlos? Second. Annie? Okay. Say aye. Aye. Carries. Okay. Thank you. In the rear. Name, please. Yes, so building K. Yard, right? 11390 Northeast 8th Avenue. This is funny because the next item J is the exact, it's like next door. 110 North. Court, 8th Court. So stucco work. Can you just tell us really quick what you're looking to do? You can just. Because I noticed it's the front seems smooth, the side looks a little more textured. And the final texture is going to be smooth or still smooth. You're going to convert it to smooth. Okay.
And are you reading? It says front white. the overall color is gonna. All right,
Motion to approve?
The cool house.
Okay, so they're just motion, yeah, smoothing out all the stucco to smooth.
motion to approve.
Second?
Annie? The aye?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you, it was good. Sure. You just show me the survey real quick. So you're on a corner lot. So the fence that you have now, if it's there. So it's actually on the property line, so it's non-conforming, and it's actually a legal non-conforming, which means if it was to fall down, it would not be able to be rebuilt in that location. Because if you're on the side corner here, because is this the front of your house? This is the front door over here, right? Your address is 8th Avenue. Okay. You have a 3-foot minimum setback for fence on that side. So right now, you're on the property line. So anything that you wanted to add, you would have to add it at 3 feet for 4, and then 4 feet for 5, 6 feet, or 3, 4, 5 feet for 6 back. So, and then you could not go further than the corner of your house. So if you were just, I'm just gonna kind of imaginarily draw it here, you would have like, this is as far north as you can go. I mean, you have a little leeway, but you can't go to the property line. You have to, it has to be 3 feet, 4 feet or 5 feet.
This is a tiny backyard, so if you put your fence.
Yeah. No, it is. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. You are allowed to put a hedge on your property line. So that is a way of capturing your property, but a fence legally cannot be on the property line. On the property line.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to see that one, because that's not allowed.
Reason why I wanted to put it. Almost half of the backyard.
Yeah. Again, that's the code for
But, yeah,
fences.
so even though if I was. it's on the property
You're,
to the
you,
corner.
they're actually, no, you can't go to corner. There's a provision that allows you to pump forward a little bit and go like this. But you still cannot get closer to the property line. Yeah. So, yeah, you have a 3 feet, like I said, you can't get closer than that. And the Eureka's are gonna, or Luce is gonna get big.
Yeah,
They're gonna-
that's the only reason I
But-
don't really.
But I would just
Thank you.
probably to be safe, put it on
Uh-huh, thank you.
a discussion item, and then have it get told by the board.
All right, we have a walk-in question. It's
Sorry, you had to wait.
Savannah Vargas. Savannah? Okay. 1015 Northeast 11th, or 117th Street. I'm sorry. All right, so it's canvas and it's metal with canvas on top of it, and it's 20 by 20. Okay, so 20 by 20 is the maximum size that it's allowed. So what you have there is the maximum size, which is fine.
And then past the edge, so if the 10 feet that it's going now past the edge of your house, right? How much further from that edge do you have to the property line?
Let me just tell you, carports have a special exemption in the front yards. You cannot be 5 feet from the property line to the side. Either side, because normal setbacks are 10 feet. Carports have 5 feet setback, okay, to the side. And then they're 5 feet from the front property line. So you can shift it over as long as you're not within that 5 feet and that 5 feet in the front. So, but, you know, obviously come in and get a permit for it and, you know, show us what you want to do. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you have a 5 and 5 setback. So just five on the side, 5 in the front. No closer than 5 feet. Okay. And don't increase it more than the 20 by 20 that it is now. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking at zoning, so we're gonna look at for the location of it. We're gonna wanna see what it looks like, what color it is, how big it is. So if you have the original drawings, you just gotta bring them in and then just show us on the survey where you wanna put it with dimensions, whatever. And then once it goes past us to building department, they're gonna ask you about you know, like, how it's, the foundation is, you know, the building officials are gonna ask you about that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, so that'll be not us, it would be the building department.
The only other thing that you may need is if you're basically removing it from the front of the house and sliding it over, that means that you're gonna need to repaint parts of the front of the house or redo any of like the front, like, not. Oh, it's spaced out from it? Oh,
It's freestanding.
oh, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yep.
Thank you. Uh-huh. I would come in maybe to the village tomorrow and speak to the village clerk. Not there until Wednesday.
So you can email her at villageclerk@biscayneparkfl.gov. She's out today and tomorrow. She'll be back on Wednesday.
And then they to see if they will grant you an exception to the date. But I would get the email like today. So you're only 3 days past the date. And you're like, and then you have to fill out an application and such like that if they're gonna allow that to happen.
So you got it, village clerk at biscayneparkfl like Florida.gov. Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you. Welcome to our park. Yeah, welcome. Sorry?
was started again?
So many.
I don't remember now.
The stucco, it was a bunch of people who made the motion, but I think at the end it was David's that counted.
Yeah.
And then I think Manny was the second. I don't know. I think we all were kind of saying at the same time, so.
I think I said it was a cute house.
I'd be curious to know about that fence. All right, so we've cleared out the house. Just so I don't forget, I hope that you guys have put your application back in.
Yeah, I did make it better.
Okay,
Also, there's an updated chapter for the land development code I attached for you guys. I will attach it to your, the packet. Realized that it was updated. Last month, a couple weeks ago.
Did they not like bold font new, I mean, whatever's changed so that it's actually identifiable, or it's just, you gotta search and find out what changed?
No,
if you go to Muni Code, I think they actually do strike throughs,
Yeah, because here it's not. That's why I'm asking this printout.
so you could actually get the strike through version and then kind of compare it. Okay, so we have, at the top of the agenda, we have minutes for April 4th, 2022 meeting. Motion to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Carries. Okay, next will be building, Old Business A, McLean, 721 Northeast 116th Street, revision to permit windows and doors. You know what the change was?
I think it's highlighted like the two units that changed. Like in the schedule, there are three that are, or two that are
The
circled.
two that have the red dotted line.
Yeah, 8 and 10, it looks like.
Yeah,
and they're
so
just
look like
doors.
They're French doors in the back.
Yeah. I mean, they still have,
Hold on, did we approve this originally? Is this, when was the original one? approved? So we, just to reiterate on this, because we marked it on the original plan, we did not allow guest houses in the park. So we struck off the word guest. It had to be like a shop or a kind of, not be a place for abode. So what they're asking for is not a part of that building. But I just want to go on record again that it's not allowed guest house. Shop or garage or something, someplace to sleep or live. But we have a motion, or we're going to get a motion on the two French doors that were added on the existing, the main house.
second.
Ed, favor say aye. Aye.
that's.
Be helpful. Don't know, but I assume Village Hall, but. We reject it and ask for a site plan.
Right.
Then the notary authority, the notarized, that he knows personal knows.
Yes, he signed it.
All right, next will be, what we just- yeah, Village of Biscayne Park Tesla Charger. So I asked them just to run it through us, just to make sure that. Well, exactly where are they putting it at? There's no,
893 Northeast, 109.
where is it at on the survey?
No, sir.
893 Northeast 109th Street. So this is in the the yard. Do we have electric trucks in the village? Village employee or village trucks? Or more like pickup? It's the yard, so
It's like.
the the public works yard over.
Oh, got it. Oh, yeah, I know where it is.
But yeah, I was a little confused by that. I mean, I live like right around the corner from that. I've never seen an electric vehicle.
Why are we getting a Tesla station at there? Where are they putting it?
Is it for the benefit of the village or is it? for the
Yeah, like,
benefit-
is it in the front, like in the guest
Is
parking?
it being
lot, or like-
donated?
Huh?
Is it being donated?
I don't know the story.
Well, yeah, but then the electrical fee sheet came out. That's the charger.
I mean, is it for the employees or is it on the, is it in the front? Is it in the front, like where the parking, guest parking is? And then again, then it becomes, who is it for? And is it, are we gonna like urge people parking overnight? like, Village buildings?
Well, I don't think that that's possible.
But it just, it raises a bunch of questions. Who is it meant for? Yeah, we're gonna come back, okay. Building C, Bordulas, 845 Northeast 119th Street, windows and doors. Okay. Retrofit impact, 12 windows, 2 doors. We have white frame, clear glass, horizontal rollers. Horizontal roller on the front.
Which is the front?
Usually it's the area that's on the bottom,
So it's the narrow side.
where the number 2 is at for the opening number 2. I guess that's the
That's a horizontal roller.
horizontal roller. What's the other one? Oh, the other one's a horizontal roller.
Yeah, so that's not the front then.
The other ones are fixed.
I think it's the kitchen, living room, master bedroom side, but then there are 2 marks FD, which are either front door or French door.
Door. Fixed. No.
Yeah, because Mark 6 and Mark 4 are, so excuse me, 7 and 4 are FD, which could be French doors. I guess they could have a door out of the bedroom to the front yard.
The part that I didn't understand is that 7FD says egress under it, but 4FD doesn't
Well,
say
Because
egress.
because 7's out of the bedroom, so you don't need egress out of the living room.
They also have that. Oh,
You know what I'm saying? But I think it's just they have French door out of the bedroom into the front yard, which. I tried to look it up on Street View and I can't even tell what house it is. The address takes you to a house that looks nothing like this floor plan. I can,
So I think it's
Deduct.
horizontal rollers on the front, so I think we're good, right? The front facade facing the street.
which is the front though? You're assuming it's the master bedroom, kitchen, living room side? I mean, look, they're all horizontal rollers, casing or front or French door / French door, right? That's all they have.
I
So
mean, you.
they don't have any single hung
You guys
anyways.
have the thing there. We could, really wanted to know, we have the product approval,
hold on, so here's the
6942.
house.
Point one.
The entry is on. Got it. I couldn't figure out what house it is. Okay. Makes sense why they have a door out of the bedroom because it's really into the side yard. Yeah, it goes out to a side yard, not to the front.
So it's still, what faces the street is horizontal, so.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Wait, say aye. Aye. Oh, yeah. Next will be building D, Carre Leo, 931 Northeast 107th Street for fence. 6-foot PVC fence. Just across. I guess it's PVC, but it's not wood now. Why wouldn't they do it on the?
What did you say for EV use only? No shit.
So they want to do this fence across the back of their property. I don't know why it's not further back, but it's their right to do what they want, I guess. Hold on. This is a. Yeah, I guess. they're right. It's a weird.
Because in the legend, there's no PVC fence at all. All the other fences.
I mean, they crossed out, they had on their thing, says board on board, they crossed it out and put 6-foot fence PVC.
Well, they also,
Oh.
they wrote 10-foot 3 inch.
They wrote that, or that's on the survey? That's not, yeah.
They're doing it they're moving it inside even the easement. Kind of weird, but hey, that's what they want, I guess.
But so wait, but they're saying wood fence, but then on the application it says PVC fence.
Yeah, I think they changed their mind at some point and just didn't mark up the survey. because the application, they scratched off wood and put PVC. The details are PVC. So I think they just didn't carry through their change and scratch up the survey sheet and write PVC.
Weird location.
Motion to,
It's in the back. Or was that David?
motion to approve it. There's not.
No.
Okay, so go back up to A, Village of Biscayne Park Tesla charger. The manager reported that it's actually inside of the gated fence. So at night, the fence is closed, you know, I guess it's just for charging. It's not out by the street, so I don't see any issue with us. David, all praise aye. Aye.
Aye.
All good.
Well, so shouldn't that then have to be, like, village? Otherwise, would it be? Like if they were putting.
I'm gonna let the manager work out like
Yeah.
who's paying for it or how it's being, who's paying for the electricity or. But it's,
No, I'm saying like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you're right, but like, it's like.
but it's not out by the street. That's what we were really concerned about, is where like exactly is it located at? All right, building F, 10910 Northeast 8th Court Incorporated, 10910. Product is still this here, I don't. So, I mean, it's a flat roof. I don't see it.
Yeah, motion to approve.
Second.
That's it, David.
Aye.
Carries. Okay, next would be Building G, Witchner, 10917 Northeast 9th Avenue. Roof tile to metal and flat deck.
Yeah, and
Weathered zinc.
they don't have overhangs.
Huh?
They do not have overhangs in their current roof.
Does anybody have a picture of what the front of this house looks like?
Yeah, it's when.
We don't have any documentation of the overhangs.
No, I just looked at the Google Street View, and in the Street View, it's clear that it's a typical kind of barrel kind of tile flush with the facade on the. Yeah.
Deny it, or do we want to just say?
The sooner we get to them knowing reality of what they can or can't do.
No overhangs and we're not gonna pick up the patient either, so.
Yeah.
Plus zinc. What do
Yeah.
you think of the weathered zinc? color?
Did they give us a physical sample? Because these scan color charts are never very accurate. Or did you have the actual color chart there?
Also, I would like to point out that the weathered zinc is shiny. Has a metallic feel to it, and our roofs are not supposed to be not.
Okay, I mean, a silver roof is shiny.
Yeah, the actual color. Code actually says should not be shiny.
Someone came with silver, that literally.
Wow. It has a metallic feel to it. These do not have metallic.
Yeah, what I'm saying is our code says. Silver.
Yeah, but it also says you cannot be shiny. Roof design. Not bright or highly reflective. Shall not be bright or highly reflective. Metallic is definitely sensitive. So by the color, and there's no overhang.
So motion denied based on lack of overhangs and not a compliant color. Fascia.
All those say aye.
Aye.
By the way, just as a comment, I encourage all of you to drive down 7th Avenue and see that house that we required them to put the overhangs on. That the metal roof. Remember he came back like 3 times. That house looks so good with the overhangs on it. It looks like a little tiny cottage now because they put the overhangs with the fascia and the wood. It's right 7 down. Did a great job, and it's a good example of our code working properly.
If you want us to go on a field trip, you just tell us that.
Hey, just take a drive. All right, next will be building I, Pagley, 11320 Northeast 9th Avenue, new pool. Lot coverage, it's at 45.75%. Back 2 foot, the back, 12 foot side. Each distance on the other side. So, you're good with the lot count. Okay, any questions?
No, motion to approve?
Does it say where they're gonna put like their food?
Yeah, it's next to the AC, tight to the house.
Second. There was the aye. Next will be Kadamatori. Kadamatori. 113. Roof. Re-roof, tile and flat color, gold dust blend. Doing the entire roof and the rear. Kind of a terracotta color. The gold doesn't stock terracotta color. And it looks like it's an S style too, so. Standard. Question? David and Manny, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
to be building I Zoller 11851 Griffin Boulevard.
This one, I have no idea what they're doing. This one is, Well,
Oh, the half of the flat in the back.
yeah. So they're, it looks like they're, want to change a barrel tile, S tile to metal. Then they want to do it teal. I don't know if there's a color chart at the end. Is that a metal roof color chart?
I think it's a company.
They want to do a teal metal roof.
You also can't,
I mean, do we have oh, here's a color chart.
Yeah, it's teal. That's what I'm saying.
you also can't.
No, yeah, from Google Earth, good luck. It's all landscape in front.
uh,
Even the photos that they have of their roof, it looks like it's completely encompassed by the trees.
Is this the purple house?
uh,
I don't see which color it is. Where does it color?
In our package, teal is highlighted and circled.
Again. There is a photo here, but it's kind of. They don't keep up this metal roof.
Also, they keep using the term metal panels, not like standing seam metal roof. I don't know what metal panels means.
So let's look at. Okay. Teal is not an approved color, so.
But is that I mean, I'm not even clear if that's what they're proposing for the metal roof. Is that? Yes.
Circled and highlighted.
Yeah. Okay.
So color to be used teal, not a approved color. Let's look at the product approval. Metal panels. What kind of panels are these? They have to be a standing seam with a factory finish on them. Say that. Where? Does anybody see standing?
No, I just see metal
Rake
panels.
detail.
Maxwell metal panels, DMC 5.
Page 4 of 18. Table 3.
Does look like, I mean, there is a, on the product approval, type of 6, coastal steel panels. It does look like it's a standing seam. We have nothing to, no overhang documentation. We have no fascia documentation. We have a color that is not approved, so. Motion to deny on that. We're denying it. Yeah. Because of the color.
Last one we denied too. Right?
Because of the color. Color is not approved, and there's no detail on overhang or fascias. So we don't even know if this house is even a canopy. Because it has to have the. Did I get a motion on it?
Second that motion.
Say aye, aye. Motion, aye. Okay, we have some discussion. Cook, 740 Northeast 120th Street. They're not here.
Is that the one that you attached like a file that was like a .msg? What was that? An email or what? I couldn't open it. Okay, I wasn't able to open it.
Yeah, we can't open it. Can't open it?
I think it's because there was 2 dots in a row.
Oh, is that what it is? Maybe
That it was making.
because of this. Let me see. Let me try it without that second dot.
Dot, dot.
Yeah, I still can't open it. Are you able to?
I printed out the
Okay, so I mean, they were gonna attend to here, but they're not. So up to how many square feet can be built? I mean, we have nothing here to look at. So how to answer these questions. But we do have a 50-foot, 50% maximum lot coverage. We do allow 2 stories. We do not allow guest houses. No, I mean, 2 structures allowed, no. Unless the other structure is a garage or shop or something like that. Any restrictions or rules to follow read modern. Just it has to be harmonious and, have more than one level of roof. Full advantage of keeping an existing wall. Tax person, right? Not a tax thing by keeping an existing wall. Setbacks, we know our setbacks 30, 10, 10. Disease oak tree be removed, yes, but they need to get approval on that. Something that has to be done, not through us. Yeah, it depends on the type. So. Send it. Send it to me. I'll just type in the answers that I just read out onto the record so that they don't have to sit through the entire meeting to listen to it. But basically, what I just said, I can put right next to each one.
Also, like, also provide them a link to Municode, right? Has all the answers to all their questions.
Do we know what time it is up there?
Well, this is at 7:50. And I'm saying,
Or they can listen to our discussion at, at
yeah, an hour.
7:53.
Well, yeah, it'd be
An hour and
basically
23
hour
minutes
and
in.
20 minutes.
Thank you. Okay. So we have a discussion request from Manny regarding rodent inspection before demolition permit. Manny.
Yes, just that I see that we have quite a few properties that are been, like I said, demolished. Yeah, for a long time. And we do have these little rodents that we love them. And I would hate for them to, because they're gonna take over those properties, no matter what. I have a family living in my room. His mother decided to bring kids and they are growing there and I know that they're gonna leave. So, but they are
Like we want
I know.
complaining. on
Yeah,
that.
that's how they vote.
Yeah, so what I have in mind is that we request to have an inspection for and make sure that they are not living in that property. And they are removing, not killing them, not killing them,
Okay.
but just in real estate. So if they want to capture it, you know, fine, but make sure that we have a letter from the pest control company certifying, yeah, that there is no. Can go ahead.
Has everybody heard of, I'm just asking for a question, like, has anybody ever heard of another municipality or anybody asking for that? Is there a precedent for that?
I can't remember what I was reviewing recently, but I did run across that really recently as well. I don't remember where or why, and also personally, I just hired somebody to take a raccoon out of my yard. I I've got an issue as well.
Um,
No, it is an issue. Nice. And it's not cheap.
So is that something that would have to be done by code or by, like, by an ordinance or by, it probably might have to. An ordinance? So I would suggest this, if you feel that you can research this and come up with something to write, like, and present it back to us, we
Well,
can
I know
discuss it.
it-
I'm open to it.
Sunny Isles, that's where it is.
Anything else? Do you want to
Yeah,
research it
yeah,
maybe and
that's,
bring it?
that's where it was. That's-
Because I know that Fort Lauderdale also.
Oh, Fort Lauderdale.
Fort
Yeah,
Lauderdale, they do have that.
yeah.
You have to have.
So, yeah, no, I mean, I'm open. I might encourage you to maybe to change the name rodent to critters or something like that, because rodent makes you seem like we're volunteer, like we're cheering for rats and things.
Okay.
I'm not so concerned about rats.
It's a, really, it's all these little creatures. that
Yeah.
are here running.
I mean, luckily I was able, I noticed a possum in mine, and she went out during the day, and I was able to kind of finagle it, and she left. I think she leaves with the babies. So she can come back.
Well, but that's what they do, and they try to protect them, because if they leave the babies on these properties that are like jungle, they got it killed. The other animals. So they try to find it in this area. I'm sorry, I'm living that, yeah, in my house. I didn't even film it.
Yeah.
And they look so beautiful. Looks like the little ones. And the mother is just protecting them, and now they're growing, and I know it once they grow up, it's growing.
Is that like during just a typical time of year, like this time of year? They don't mate year round, do they? Or is it just like a spring, winter? You always kind of see like the fat raccoons going around sometimes at certain times of the year. You know, they're bulking up or pregnant or something. But man, I would suggest coming up with something and coming back, and we'll discuss it.
Yeah, that's
We can
why,
always-
no, I just wanted to
Yeah,
see,
I
you know, how you guys feel.
I can help you with looking at Sunny Isles. if you have any other plans.
I don't know if it could be something that we could send up to the village, and they can put it on as part of the demolition, or do we have to have an ordinance? But we could definitely vote on it and send it up as a board.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale has it as a demolition permit.
So, I was talking with, a client of mine that's an architect up in place where he lives. If you're doing work on a house, like every permit guy goes and looks to see like, hey, there's water, so everybody has to screen. Like, oh, but we've been keeping it drained. Luckily, that's been but we've been keeping it drained just to be sensitive.
Yeah.
So that's actually what's got added.
New
in
building
this.
code.
Oh,
The changes to this are all about that.
Okay.
We reviewed it last year and
A lot of
sent
that
up
in there.
language, and it's about code compliance check. Owner is required to mitigate that. If not, then the city has the right to go in, fix it. So it's in this thing that SB printed, it's 18.3, 18.3.71,
Oh, cool.
2 and 3. That's what's added.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that before, and none of the dudes that came to my brother's house seemed to. So I was like, oh, this might be something nice.
Exactly what we added. I'll address that.
So we have a couple more things for discussion. For some reason, they've asked us that, I guess the art board decided to change their name, or asked to change their name. So the commission asked all boards if they want to change their name. I think we're fine the way we are. So I don't know what that's all about, but the village clerk.
Those artists, they have to be so avant-garde, and
So I think we're good on that.
We
and
could be
then
like
Esty, I
Gage's
asked you
Gremlins or
about
something.
property 11650 Northeast 11th Place. Is there any? Did you find No, if you can just, I'm gonna bring it back at the next meeting, because I do want to talk about it. I'm noticing a couple times where we're approving things and it's being built not to what we approved, and then it gets finalized. And then you kind of wonder, well, what's happening here, you know? And, you know, and as far as us as a board, we should be able to not be code enforcers, but, you know, we're aware of what is being approved. And so we should be able to have a conversation with our building officials and say, hey, you know, what's going on here?
Yeah,
And,
well, you know, I mean, every other, not every, but most municipalities, as part of the final inspection, a zoning inspection is part of final sign off. So, you know, I don't know that you want to volunteer to do zoning inspections at the end of each project before they get to CO, but that's the way to catch it. Building officials not going to look at zoning issues. Certainly the, you know, outsourced building inspection company that we use is not looking at zoning issues. They don't know the zoning issues, right? So
I know, it seems like it's a little bit of a gray area.
nobody, that's the point, you know.
How did,
So you-
how did that house that?
In theory, they're gonna look at the plans and should, you know, but they're just not, I mean,
Sometimes they just walk out and they look at the post hole and go,
yeah,
okay.
and you know, their primary concern really is safety, right? So they're looking that it's properly constructed, but whether or not it's meets our zoning rules, they don't. I can't speak from experience because, you know, we didn't do new construction, it was renovation, but no, nothing in ours was ever, you know, ever checked, but.
I mean, I can point out a couple fences that I would question whether or not the setback is correct. But it's one of those things like it goes up and then it gets improved and then it's like closed. And then you're like, okay, well, what's happening here?
Well, like for instance, that house that's over here that's been concrete since like 5 years ago. Yeah. Like how did that get caught? Because
They,
it was back too close to the sides or something like that.
No, they got caught because somebody reported that, I think it was a coded complaint that, it didn't look like what was approved. And so
It's not setback
the
issue.
plans and they realized that what was being built was not what was approved. They stopped.
Because wasn't it also like a lot larger than what was
Yeah.
approved or something?
Taller.
Huge thing
Yeah.
that goes almost to the canal in the back.
Oh, and they also grew towards the canal.
Yeah, so, but now it's for sale, I believe. He approved it, we approved it, and he's not finishing it.
They're trying, well, they listed that, but they're also trying to sell it as is off the market.
We just have a couple things where like, you know, there's a flat roof house at, I want to say 120th and 8th, or maybe 7th, no, 8th. That was not renovated. It was renovated and they had all this Art Deco details to it, and they never built any of it. And the plan was signed by the planning and zoning, and then the thing was built, inspected, and signed off by the building officials, and it doesn't match what we approved.
The house that's at one has fence around it
Yep.
now, but and it may just be because this is the way that it is, but like the little board about the house, the pictures on it are very different than what I remember. It could be like just an old rendering that they'd already made.
Yeah.
So they haven't started touching the house yet, but
That would be something just to look at the building permit, make sure they're building it again to what we approved. Plus that sign is actually illegal for our. Hopefully our code enforcement will go out and take a look at it or catch it. Like Bell David kind of thing, or not Bell David. Alex. It's something, I mean,
I could just imagine because it's gonna be for every single permit though, it's gonna be quite a financial burden. You're asking to do it only for new construction, which is, you know, 2 inspections a year, that's one thing, but if it's every one of these roof and fence and window permits, that's a whole scope of work that.
so it's a A zoning inspection is probably the key word that we need to do. So the question is, how do we do it with a volunteer board? And none of us want to have.
Or you put it, I mean, I can't remember, I'm blanking on the company's names that we use for building inspection, the out of house company. But I mean, I think if we just added that as a inspection, one of the required inspections, but put it on them, they're doing the inspections anyways. Right? And then that puts them on the pressure to actually look at the plans, look at the elevation. Otherwise, they're not doing that stuff, right? They're looking at building code issues, but
Yeah,
if you put it on them,
how it's built.
I'm sure they can just verify it matches the elevations and the plans, and they're not gonna survey a setback and things like that, but
So if they have to sign off on like a zoning sheet.
exactly, just give it one more, there's a little checklist, right, of the inspections you have to get.
One of the inspections that basically says, does it match the? We have a special.
It's usually the second to last.
Or just making sure it's built at the right location.
Right now, it's just not one of the inspections you have to go through. So I think if you just make it one, have the same company that does the building, just do it. It just makes them look at the plans for a moment and make sure generally, consistent with what got approved.
All right. This, as being on this board, I think we all kind of drive through and we see things that we know that we've looked at. And then every once in a while, something catches your eye and you're like, oh, no. It's a gray thing because, as a board member, we don't want to be like reporting people, but by, the Florida legislature now, like if you code issue, you have to report, you have to say your name and all that stuff. And I don't think that what we do is code issues. I think what we're doing is just, if any of us do it, you just kind of like say, hey, I think that there's something wrong here. Somebody needs to look at it. And hopefully. All right, anything else tonight? I think our next meeting is in May.
I have a couple questions. The village clerk wanted me to ask the board for the month of June. We are off because of the holiday for Juneteenth is on a Sunday, so we will have that Monday, June 20th off. So because of the way the pattern is going, she wanted to know if everybody is available for June 13th, that Monday, and June 27th. We know it's the summer, so most people go on vacations.
I'm actually
So,
on vacation the week prior, so that would be
Okay.
perfect for me.
Okay. yeah,
Yeah, that was gonna be something I was gonna ask, is as a board person, are you allowed at this point to come to them, or if you're like, you can't be?
We're not set up for Zoom, so you would just be absent that meeting.
and then also for September also because of,
To answer your question, when we were doing Zoom, we had
oh yeah, but yeah, that's true, yeah.
some legislative reason why we had to be in the same.
Yeah.
And also for September, because of Labor Day weekend, if any board members would be available for this September 12th and the September 26th meeting.
Yeah, that's so far out.
She likes to think ahead, but I'll bring it back, towards, June, July. But for June, we're set for the 13th and the 27th.
I'm good with it. Anybody else? Nice. Make sure you just send an email for that. Get some grant.
$0.
All right, so any other work, we can motion to adjourn at 8:10.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I have a question for the board before you guys leave. I'm gonna stop the recording.